Hello, everyone. This is Laura Jane, and welcome to my podcast, Fueled by Coffee and Grace. I decided to start a podcast because one of the things I really enjoy doing is reading the Bible. And I love learning about all the different things that God has in store for us and how much He loves us. You know, when people think about the Bible, they think it is a bunch of do's and don'ts. However, in a sense, it is a rule book, but it is also a love story. It is a book of poems, and the Book of Solomon is pretty steamy poems, but it is also a history book. If it wasn't for the Bible, there are many cultures that we would have never known existed. The Bible is also a book of common sense. There are just common sense things that we should all do. We should all treat people the way we want to be treated. We should all use wisdom when it comes to dealing with adversaries. There are so many different things that the Bible teaches us. But one of the really cool things that I find about the Bible is that there are the different translations. The translations are really interesting. Particularly, I like using the Living Translation Bible. And one of the reasons why I like using that is because it's more conversational. It's not a bunch of these and thys and doths and all that weird stuff. It's just conversational. You just start reading it and it's like talking to someone. The other thing is that the Bible was written in 3 different languages. It was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. And there are words in those languages that just do not translate into English. For example, we use the word love very, very casually. You know, we say, I love pizza. Oh, I loved that movie. I just love coffee. I love you. I love my children. I love watching the sunsets. We just use it to cover a plethora of emotion. However, in Greek and Hebrew, they have very specific words for very specific kinds of love. They use the word agape, which is a love for, it's an affection, it's a fondness. Then there's agapo, which is unconditional love. There is filio, which is like a intimate familial type love. You know, mother, child, sister, brother, parent, child, that kind of thing. So one of the things I enjoy doing is when I read a passage, if I want to understand it a little better, I like to look at the literal Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic translations. So, for example, in the book of Genesis, it talks about how God created woman, right? And we all know the story. God created woman because He took a rib out of Adam and made woman. And we have always thought it was a physical rib. God physically took a rib, a bone, out of Adam, and He fashioned a woman around it. But that is not what the original Hebrew translation says. If we look at the translation, Adam is actually Greek for human. And when God says, let us make man, Adam, in our image, Adam was not made a male. God is both male and female. So when they say, let's make Adam in our image, they made Adam as both male and female. And then when God saw that it wasn't good that he be alone, and he caused him to go to sleep, what God did was he pulled the female out of Adam. So that was the rib. And I can't think of the Hebrew name off the top of my head, but it means ridge. So when God pulled the female out of Adam, that's when he created her. So he separated the two. So that's where we also get, and that's why the Bible also says that a man shall leave his mother and father and be joined with his wife, and the two shall become one. Basically, men and women are just one half of a whole, if that makes any sense. So we've got Adam, who was both male and female, and God pulled the female out, and that's what the rib meant. He separated the two, and then he created female. Now, people always thought it was just a rib. And, so they say, woman was made from the side of Adam. He was made out of the rib. She wasn't made out of the feet. She wasn't made out of the head. She can't be above him. She can't be below him. She is on the side of him, which means she's equal, blah, 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 blah. Well, because in the rest of the Bible, it'll clearly say, man and woman. The two shall become one. And so I never put it together that it all stems from that moment. And that's what I love about the Bible, is I love reading about these new things. Every time I read it, it's something new comes out. It's really something. So that is what my podcast is going to be about. This is my very first podcast, and it is probably far from being perfect. But as I go on, I will definitely be a little more specific in scripture and everything. But I appreciate you taking time to sit down with me and enjoy a cup of coffee. I hope to be doing this on a regular basis. And I don't know, I might eventually do a YouTube channel or something. But what I like about this is that I don't have to wear makeup. So thank you all so much for taking the time to join with me and enjoy your coffee. And until next time.